I know I'm late to talk about this, but if this ain't the most beast stuff I've ever seen in my life, so your brother gets whooped. You get so mad that you got to grab your other brother to run up on this dude? Bruh, this is why I call you Lil Kiki. This is why I call you Lil Kiki right here. Childish mentality. Not only did you bust weight, not only did you get to defend your title in your hometown, not only did you get strapped or stripped, not only did Abdullah Mason outshine you, the person that you was talking all that stuff to, not only did he look more like a professional than you, it took all your star power from you. Then you run up on a dude who really hasn't fought in almost 2 years and whooped your brother easily. You mad because your brother can't fight? So you got to grab your other brother because you too scary to run up on this dude one-on-one? Bruh, B mentality. B mentality all the way. That's what Lil Kiki has. Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody makes wrong decisions, but you got to call them out for what it is when they do it. And this by far is the weakest thing I've ever seen from a professional boxer. You mean to tell me you were so terrified because you watched your brother get whooped because he's trash that you had to grab your other brother to run up on this dude that you already fought? That's wild. It took two of y'all, and you're a trained fighter, and you're a killer, but you need a backup for your backup because your backup was trash in the ring? Wild. Smash the thumbs up if you're just joining me. I'm going to open up the panel early. I'm not trying to stay live for long because to me, this is ridiculous. This is what makes the sport look bad. You don't really see stuff like this, at least to my knowledge, happening in the UFC. Now, truth be told, I don't really keep up with it, but you don't hear about UFC fighters jumping each other. And this is supposed to be prize fighting. That's supposed to be cage fighting. And they don't be doing this dumb stuff at all. But here we are. You got to jump a dude because he whooped your brother in front of you. If it meant that much to you, why didn't you challenge him out to the rematch? You already fought him once 2 years ago. If it hurt you that bad to watch your shitty ass brother, that's right, shitty ass brother who can't fight, dude is trash. Like, I never seen your brother fight before besides last night. And judging off of last night, Lil Kiki, your brother trash. He trash. It is what it is. And it hurts your heart so bad to see somebody that you fought whoop your brother in front of you that you had to jump him with your other brother. I'm going to keep stressing that all night. But I'm going to open up the panel early tonight because I don't want to be on for long. If anybody else wants to jump on, the link is going to be in the chat. Let me know how you feel about this. Hop on the panel. Go ahead and tell me exactly what you think, because I think this right here is a horrible look. Because it's just, like I said, it's an accumulation of things. You missed weight. You didn't get to be the main event. You talk like you was the man to Abdullah, and he did what he had to do. He outshined you on every facet. And then to close the show, you got to go jump a dude with your brother because you was too, now that we're past the 5-minute mark, I can say it, too pussy to run up on this man one-on-one. You was too pussy to see him by yourself after you saw him wobble your brother left and right, gave him the stanky legs, spaghetti noodle legs. You was too pussy to say how you felt by yourself, so you had to bring backup to somebody who was standing there all alone. Then from how he tells it, you had to sneak up, have your brother sneak up and grab him from behind so you could headbutt him. You're a pussy. Straight up pussy. Bitch mentality. That's what you have. And there's no getting around that. I don't condone this. I don't know what they're going to do to Lil Kiki and his brother. I don't know if they're going to suspend him, fine him, a little bit of both, or order his ass to fight Albright. That's really what I would like to see. I would like to see him and Albright run it back. In all honesty, if I was Albright, that's what I'd want. In fact, I'd fight all of y'all. If I was Albright, I'd go ahead and fight you, and then I'd go fight your brother. That way I could whoop all three of y'all. That's what Albright should do. He should run a train on your whole fucking family. The win that you had over him was reversed because you couldn't stay off, the greenery. So you already had a no contest with this dude, same dude that whooped your brother in front of you. Whooped them all night. Wild. Fucking wild to me. Like, I don't know, man. I can't condone this. I couldn't imagine. I couldn't imagine being a professional fighter and having to jump somebody because I'm too pussy to fight them one-on-one with my bare knuckles. I couldn't imagine that because in my mind, you a pussy. You're weak. You're scary. It's one thing to be in a ring boxing somebody with the safety of the referee, gloves on, and they have to box you. It's a whole nother world to run up on somebody with your bare knuckles the way they could grab you. Ain't no rules. And you were scared of it. That's why you brought backup. That's how I see it. I don't know if anybody out there sees it any different. Let me read the chat. Regulator said, I didn't think he was going to be at the fight. Who? Lil Kiki? Is that who you're talking about being at the fight? Oh, yeah. I mean, I knew he was going to be at the fight because his brother was fighting. But what I didn't know was him and Keyshawn, his other brother, were going to run up on Albright and jump him after the fight. I didn't know that. You could tell they was upset too because they kept flashing the little Kiki. He looked like he was about to cry while he was watching his brother get whooped. So I don't know, man. On that night, you 3 times the loser. You got stripped, got your main event taken away, and then you jump somebody. That's a 3-time loser. All in one night. It is what it is. In the sport of boxing, you have winners and you have losers. You win and you lose. It may not be your night. And what's so crazy about it is Kelvin, the dude who lost, didn't even go to jump him. He respected the loss. He took the loss. He took the loss on the chin. Kelvin didn't complain. Kelvin didn't say he was robbed. Kelvin didn't say nothing bad. Kelvin took the loss on the chin and walked off. So out of the 3 brothers, even though Kelvin lost, he's the biggest brother in my opinion because he dealt with the loss like a true professional. It was his 2 brothers that couldn't stand to see an L. And that's wild to me. But I'm going to tell you this, little Kiki. And this is how I always feel about when things like this happen. I feel like people know people and they know who to run up on. They know who to run up on. They know who they can get away with this shit because there are corners who roll deep. You run up in their locker room, you run up in their space, and it's 2 of y'all trying to jump them, and y'all gonna have about 15, 20 people stomping y'all into the fucking ground. And that's what should have happened. Instead of breaking up the fight, his team should have stomped you in the ground. Because if I was on his team, oh, I'm jumping you too. You want to jump? We gonna jump. Except you in enemy territory. And it's only a matter of time if you keep doing this type of dumb shit that somebody gonna catch you. And you ain't gonna like it when they do it back. That's why this is a sport. That's why stuff like that doesn't belong in this. There is nothing street about boxing. It is a professional sport. It's not fighting somebody at the club. This isn't how things are handled in the ring or out of the ring. But again, if you felt some type of way because Albright beat your brother's ass, who wasn't even upset that he got his ass whooped, he was probably upset that he lost, but it was fair play to the winner. If you was that upset, why you couldn't do it by yourself? If you wanted to fight that man, if you felt that brave, had your chest poked out that hard, that far, then why you couldn't run up on him one-on-one? Because in real life, you're a pussy. That's what that tells me. Because a lot of people can box, but not a lot of people are fighting the streets. A lot of people will get in a boxing ring because it's controlled. It's controlled. There's safety measures. But you know what a lot of people won't do? Fight in them streets to where a motherfucker gets you on the ground and can stomp you into oblivion. And to me, you prove, Lil Kiki, you're the reason why I call you what I call you, Lil Kiki. Because you a little boy and you scary. You're scared. You scared to fight on your own. So you need that backup. And I know I've said that a bunch. But again, I'm going to drop the link one more time. If anybody wants to hop on. Let's conversate about this. I want to hear what y'all have to say versus me saying the same thing over and over and over again. Let me read the chat real fast. Let me catch up on this, and then we'll see if anybody hops on the panel. And anybody can jump on. If you support Lil Kiki, let me know why. If you think he should be suspended, let me know why. If you think he should be fined, let me know why. Let me know how you feel about this. We got, let me see. Y'all didn't hear him doing anything? Yeah. Let me see. What's going on, Philip? What's going on, J. Will? 1 year suspension and fine for Lil Kiki. I think it's fair. We'll see what they do, if they do anything at all. What's going on, RL? How you doing? What's going on, Jab Queen? Oh, we got Ty in the building.
Do my ears deceive me?
Hold on one second, Ty. Let me get through these real fast. It's not that many more. Jay Will said when Clarissa Shields and her team, if you remember, beat up her opponent's older trainer, I thought more should have been done. Yeah, but you know what? Shields didn't initiate that. Shields didn't say for them to go jump on the trainer. That just happened. So that's a little different than the actual fighter starting it like Lil Kiki did. Let me get through these. Almost done. And we're going to let Ty say what she got to say. People saying, what's up? Not Tony turning on his precious Lil Kiki. Can't be.
You know I'm here for that.
Hey, Jab Queen, hop on the panel. Let me see. I can fight in the streets. I can't.
That's me.
Oh, that's you?
Yeah. I don't know why my name is coming up as Ty now.
Do you have a channel?
You know I have a channel, Tony. Stop playing with me.
Hold on. But I never seen that name. I only see Ty.
I don't know why when I hop on other people's panel, it does that. I don't know.
Let me I'm gonna do this real fast before we get into this. Damn, I've already lost 2 subscribers since I started this stream. That's what's up. I don't give a fuck. Fuck y'all in, Lil Kiki. How about that?
Oh my goodness.
All right, hold on. Let me go here. I'm gonna pin your channel. Let me go to your channel real fast. Go to channel. Click here, copy and paste. We're gonna do this. We're gonna put it there, and then we're gonna go to pin. All right, y'all, subscribe to Ty, Jab Queen Boxing. All right, Ty, go ahead. Say what you want to say.
I was just about to have a heart attack. I was scrolling through these YouTube streets and I said, oh, Tony's on. I never caught his show. And as soon as I clicked on it, I heard you turning on your precious Kiki. Tony, this can't be.
There is no love in my heart for individual man. The only man that I love is God and Jesus and the Holy Spirit. Outside of them, I love no man. So I judge you off what you do and how you move. And he right now looking like a real bitch.
Oh my God, can you believe that? Talk about a sore fucking loser, and you weren't even the one in the fight.
Yo. And what's so crazy about it is his brother wasn't even a sore loser, the one that lost.
Word. He was the one trying to break it up. I'm like, yo, Keyshawn is spiraling out of control. So I did a whole live about him earlier. You know, No Cap came up there. Everybody came up there with their cape on, ready to cap, talking about mental issues and all this other shit. But I am not giving him no pass because you strategically missed weight, in my opinion. And then on top of that, you sitting in there, you still haven't apologized to your damn fans. You sitting in the audience getting mad as hell that your brother lost. And then you go to the back acting like you about to congratulate this man, your brother, and I think they said it was Troy Isley, and y'all put pause on this man. That is unacceptable, man.
I 1,000% agree with you. And from my understanding, Keon snuck up behind him and grabbed him from behind without him even seeing him.
Oh, that's different than what I heard, because from what the trainer said, and I don't know if it was the trainer or the uncle or one of them said, they were in the dressing room. The only reason they let Keyshawn and them in there is because, like I said, they thought he was coming in there to congratulate them. But then it turns out that Keyshawn and them were across the hall, and they heard Albright celebrating, so they got upset like basically like mother effer, what are you celebrating? And went over there and put hands on him. And the altercation we saw in the back was Albright's brothers confronting them for jumping their brother.
Yeah, what I heard was is Albright, he was actually on the microphone doing a after fight interview, right? And then they did let the Davis brothers in. Keon snuck up behind him, grabbed him from behind. Kiki came up in front of him, head butted him. That's where that big lump came from, was from a headbutt after he was held from behind. And that's when they tried to put their hands on him. Then Albright's trainer ran up and like broke it up.
Yeah. So, I mean, we're hearing pretty much the same thing. Obviously, everything is still fluid because then earlier I heard that no one but Keyshawn basically put pause on him, that Keon and Troy were there, but they basically were just kind of like watching or whatever the case may be. But then later you heard the trainers say that they had to go and pull them off of Albright. And then earlier on my panel, everyone's like, oh, he didn't get hurt that bad, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, he got hurt worse in the dressing room than he did on the guy in the ring. He had that big ass knot that he didn't have during the fight. As you can look at the picture you have up here, that knot is not on his forehead.
No, I agree with you. Like he had more damage to his face after the fight than he did during the fight. And the
Thank
thing
you.
about it is this. I don't care. Like to me, especially with you being a professional fighter, you're a pussy if you need backup.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
If you had that big of a problem with him, run up on him one on one. But you needed your brothers with you to support you because you pussy.
And Ron Osley ain't even his brother. You done drug him into it.
Well, I know he's not.
Not only even that, if you felt so saucy about it, Keyshawn, because from the way I remember, you barely beat Albright.
He did.
So
and then it turned into a no contest because of
the
alleged
weed.
weed.
Yeah, because of the weed. Yeah, alleged weed. But that's what I'm saying. And if you really felt that froggy, then maybe you should have had your ass in fighting shape and you could have fought somebody. You don't. And then like you said, you're not even the one who lost. Your brother is, and he wasn't even salty. So how dare you go in the back, you, your girlfriend, your baby, just a whole ghetto mess, go in the damn back and start trouble with this man. Then y'all couldn't even find y'all baby at one point.
Yep,
Like it's ridiculous, yo. That was craziness to me. That was pure craziness to me. Still have not apologized to your fans for missing weight. They had to refund $2,000 worth of tickets or 2,000 tickets or something like that. And now we don't know what Albright is going to do. He's saying he wants a rematch with Keyshawn. He want to get it back in the ring. But did you know that they had to sit out there for hours because they wouldn't let them leave the arena, Keyshawn and all his people?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, his trainer, Albright's trainer, did an interview with Fight Hype. I saw it at like 3 a.m, and it was only like 10 minutes old when I saw it, and they said they were still sitting there. He was like, oh, I know you guys are blah, 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 from everything that happened earlier. The trainer said it happened earlier. He said it's still going on. He said, you see, we're still sitting here. We can't leave. They were literally waiting for them outside. The shit is crazy. Yeah, 2,000 fans asked for their money back. That's right.
So this is what I'm going to say. Like, if Lil Kiki keeps that mentality, he gonna do it to the wrong one, and they gonna find out very quickly how it's different outside the ring than inside the ring. They gonna find out very quickly. Do that to the wrong person.
I'll take it even a step further. They'll find out when they leave Virginia, because the only reason you did that is because you were in your hometown with all your people surrounding you. You wouldn't dare go somewhere else like to Philly, where Albright is from, and try that bullshit. Which is why there was immediate retaliation in the back and all of that happened, because everybody is not playing that. My brother won fair and square in the ring, and then y'all jumped him, or whatever the case may be. Keyshawn, you went back there trying to put hands on him because he beat your brother. Like, how does that sound? Now, what is Top Rank going to do? Thank God they have Abdullah, because they were pumping you as the rising star.
Mm-hmm.
You're an ambassador for Ring. All these different things, all these things hinge on you. You are your family's star. Let's be honest. Your brothers ain't really like that. You know what I'm saying? As Albright just proved. And I assume that when Keon starts to step it up in competition, we'll see that with him as well. But you were the rising star in your family. You had your sisters singing last time you fought in Norfolk. All of these things going on. And now look. Not only did you miss weight, and they still paid Edwin De Los Santos, because thank God Samson wasn't stupid. You know what I'm saying? How you 2 pounds overweight in the morning and then 4 pounds, 4.3 pounds overweight by the time the weigh in, so you didn't
Well,
even try to make weight.
I'm gonna tell you how. I mean, and I try to say this on 2 Cents channel. They was like, that's not true. But here's the fact of the matter. This has been done before. Shakur did it to
When he dropped his belt on the scale,
Conte
yeah.
Sal. He did it to Conte Sal. He didn't try to make weight. They could say, oh, he tried to make weight. It was only a pound 0.6. So basically a little over a pound and a half. It doesn't matter. He didn't try to re-weigh in. He never tried to make weight because he wanted that advantage, like you said earlier. That's the same thing Lil Kiki was doing. Lil Kiki already had in his mind, I'm going to move up. But what I need to do is I need to look better than Shakur. So I'm going to try to bust his weight. I'm going to try to be as strong as I can to get the knockout that I need to get to put on a better performance. At the end of the day, to me, that shows that he was scared of De Los Santos. He didn't want it to be a fair fight. He wanted that advantage.
Me too, Tony. I said the same thing because I'm like, hold up. How much of an advantage do you need? You already got home court. You know what I'm saying? You already around all your peoples, all of this other shit going on. Now, and he looked bigger than De Los Santos to me, like taller wise. When they first got there, I'm like, is he standing on something? Because he just looked bigger. Let's be honest. Although De Los Santos, he didn't look horrible. He didn't look that great, yo. He looked a little frail, or like he could have used an extra coating of muscle, weight, whatever the hell you want to call it. But you're right. Keyshawn looked fully, completely healthy. He looked like he didn't try to make weight. He looked like he wasn't about to try anymore. And I think what they were banking on is the fact that De Los Santos was coming off of a layoff for a year and a half and that they needed that money. That's what I think they were banking on.
Yep, and the trainer did the right thing. He said, fuck you. We're not taking a fight, which is what I say all the time. Like, when these dudes miss weight by a lot, it's an advantage. Don't take the fucking fight. Why take the payday and lose? Because at the end of the day, a loss is going to cost you more money than what you would get for fighting.
Devin Haney.
I think, exactly. I think De Los Santos did the right thing. Just like Devin Haney, he should have never took that fight. The minute Ryan busted weight, with no means and no reason or want to make the weight, he should have walked away from the fight, then the whole world wouldn't have seen him mollywopped. But same thing happened with Lomachenko against Salido. Salido busted the weight, came in, gave Lomachenko his first loss. I mean, these are things that we've seen time and time again in boxing that dudes do to cheat. And a lot of the times, like you said, the boxers just take the paycheck. But his coach was smart enough to say, we're not going for that shit.
And I think that Samson got even more upset because it's like, hold up, you were only 2 pounds overweight this morning. You could have cut that. And isn't it like if they're like under 2 or under 3, they make them try to make weight or something like
under
that?
Under 3. Yeah,
under 3. They so you came in 4.3 on purpose. You knew that they couldn't make you try to make that weight. And another reason is, Keyshawn, if you really wanted to make that weight, look at what Eubanks did. He rolled himself up like a goddamn hot dog.
Yeah.
A pig in a blanket. You know what I'm saying? To make that damn weight because he wanted that fight. You didn't even try. And then it was just like, oh, whatever. So you mean to tell me your very first title defense, you're going to drop your belt on the scale? Are you kidding me?
Like I said, we've seen it before with Shakur. It's the same team, the same group. And I just think it was the same. It's just history repeating itself. He saw Shakur do it, so he figured he'd do the same. And the thing about it is it was the pressure of this fight. There is a debate. Who was better, Shakur or Lil Kiki? They say they're not going to fight each other, but people still debate who is the better fighter. Lil Kiki had the pressure of, I have to do better. I have to get this knockout. I have to show that I can perform better than Shakur. And that's what got to him, the pressure. And he folded.
I said this earlier on my live. I said, so you mean to tell me, because everybody, oh, mental health. I said, so what you're trying to tell me is that Keyshawn can't handle life. Because this is what comes with being a star. You have to perform. So what did you go through all of that trouble to get the damn belt for if you were just going to drop it on the scale not even 5 months later? And that's another thing, too, that I believe Sanson took note of. You just fought like 5-6 months ago, and De Los Santos ain't fought in almost 2 years. How did he make weight, but you didn't? You know what it takes to make 135. You just did it.
He didn't try. That's
exactly.
That's all it comes down to. He just wanted that advantage, didn't try. What I think he did was he went to training camp, and whatever weight he lost, he just lost naturally, and that's all he was going to lose. Whatever came off, and I'm going to get on this scale, whatever I weigh from training camp. That's it.
That's crazy.
Because he needed to be in his peak. Lil Kiki needed to be at his pinnacle to outshine Shakur. And I think that's really what it revolves around. It was the pressure of trying to look better with a light type opponent than Shakur. And the difference with Shakur and Lil Kiki is Lil Kiki, he doesn't box from the outside like Shakur. He doesn't have a defense like Shakur. So De Los Santos can use that power that he couldn't use against Shakur on Lil Kiki because stylistically, they're going to be trading shots. And I think Lil Kiki was scared of the power. So he needed that advantage to feel comfortable, just like he needed his brother and his friend to go in there and jump Albright because he's pussy. He pussy.
That shit crazy, yo. I couldn't believe that when ESPN cut to that. First, when they cut to Albright, I had it on mute because I be listening to KQ call it. But then when they cut to Albright, I'm like, his face looked fucked up. Like, what happened? So I took it off mute and I started listening, and they were like, "Oh, tell us what happened." And I'm thinking he about to do an interview about him winning. So I got ready to turn it down again. And he like, "Yeah, they jumped me." I'm like, "Whoa, wait, what?"
I was the same
And that's
way.
when they cut to the video. I'm like, "Oh shit. This is getting ghetto. What is going on?" I thought I was watching the Zeus Network or something. Like, why? I'm like, what is going on? And then they said Keyshawn. I'm like, Keyshawn? Oh, this is completely out of whack right here. What are you doing back there anyway? They gave him too much rain, and to me, Keyshawn got a little too big-headed, yo. With every interview I saw him do, I'm like, all right, this kid is getting full of himself. You all right, Keyshawn, but you ain't no damn world beater. Let's call it what it is. You know what I'm saying?
He ain't tested yet at all. And I think
Exactly.
Mason, I think Mason will beat his ass. I'm gonna be honest. I think he knock him out. I got Abdullah.
I got Abdullah too, but if I'm gonna be honest, well, now, honestly, I would have Keyshawn only because of the experience. But if Keyshawn don't get him in the next 2 to 3 fights, he got no chance. No chance, because they got around the same amount of fights. I think Keyshawn has a little more experience, but Abdullah looked like he punching. So that could definitely be a toss up. But like I said, he barely beat Albright. You know what I'm saying? So who knows? And I think too he was intimidated by the thought of facing Edwin De Los Santos, because even though Edwin De Los Santos has been out of the ring for a year and a half, the last thing to go, we know, is power. So still, you know what I'm saying? That was probably because he ain't really fought no punchers, not that I can remember.
No, not that I can think of off the top of my head. No real knockout artist. He ain't been in there.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, but I mean, I actually think Abdullah Mason's got more experience. I mean, I think he's more experienced on a professional level. No, he hasn't fought a champion, but I mean, Denise just became a champion against a 130-pound fighter moving up in Navarrete. So, and I rate Denise. I think Denise is a good fighter. Don't get me wrong, but by the time he finally got his belt, the dude's already like 36, 37 years old. So it's not like Denise Baranchek is a young guy. So I think Lil Kiki has around like 13 fights, and I think Mason has 19, 20 fights. I want to say 19, somewhere around 19, 20. I'm telling you, I think Abdullah Mason knocks him out. I think.
Yeah, I got Keyshawn right now because of the experience. Like I said, if he don't catch him within the next fight or two, then I don't got Keyshawn having any chance. Just because of the experience, I would edge it to Keyshawn now. And as we can see, he plays games with weight and everything else. Being over there, that whole camp stinks of just foolishness. Now, how the hell Bo Mac fat ass is a trainer blows my mind, but that's another topic for another day. But right now, today, I would have to give it to Keyshawn only because of experience. That's the only reason I would give it to him, because he's had more experience in that ring, although not facing a lot of power punchers. He just has more experience with different styles, I think.
I don't know. I don't know. I think the thing about Mason is Lil Kiki, a majority of his fights, he's been the way bigger man, way bigger. And Abdullah Mason's the same size as him. Like, they're literally the same size. I think they walk around the same weight. Their physical dimensions are pretty much identical.
That's similar. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I can agree with that.
And I think that's going to be a big difference too, that they've always put Lil Kiki in there with dudes he's bigger than. And for the first time, he's going to be in there with a power puncher who's the same size. Like De Los Santos, even though you said he looked shorter, He would have been close to the same size. Like he would have been a little outsized, but it would have been a lot closer than what Kiki's been fighting.
Well, I'll tell you what, like I said, when they were at that scale or on the scale, I just remember saying to myself, is Keyshawn standing on something? Because he just looked like he was towering over him. But that could have just been the angle of the camera, too. But when they stood side by side, I'm like, oh, hell no. Keyshawn looks like he looked healthy. Like he didn't look like he cut any weight. That's when the whole debacle scam, with him not making weight came, because
Right.
I knew it when I looked at him. I'm like, whoa, he don't look the same way he did when he faced Barenchik. If you can look underneath their eyes, his eyes in the Barenchik fight looked slightly sunken, like it was like a little dark under his eyes. That's
Yeah.
how I knew. I'm like, he's struggling still to make this weight, and he cut his hair, so that was another sign that he was struggling to make the weight. So that's just when I looked under his eyes, I'm like, nah, Keyshawn looked normal as hell. He looked like he been looking like. I mean, did the brother even have a training camp, or he looked like he could have been 147 if we being honest. Keyshawn just naturally looks like a big boy. Like when he stands next to Bud Crawford and all these other guys, he doesn't look like they're towering over him.
No, I agree with you. He's definitely, especially for the weight class, he's big. What's going on, 2 cents? How you doing? Daniel said Bomac is clinically obese.
Clinically obese, my ass. That nigga fat as fuck. But
What's going
yeah,
on, Jay?
yeah.
Um, I don't think. Look, I'm gonna tell you right now. I think Bomac struck gold with Crawford because I don't think he's a good trainer. Like this is another fight where he had another fighter and that his fighter made zero adjustments in the corner, zero. Like Kelvin fought the same way from the first round to the last round, and I didn't hear Bomac give no good instructions,
Nah,
not one.
Bomac was trying to give instructions. It's just that Albright was not letting Kelvin capitalize on those instructions. That's why I hate when they kind of say the instructions out loud, because I'm like, can't the other corner hear them? But I just feel like he didn't allow him to capitalize on those adjustments. And I mean, Albright, he was catching him flush, yo, from like round 3 on. I gave Kelvin maybe 1 or 2 rounds, and I think those was pity rounds, because Albright pretty much ran the gauntlet on his ass. From the moment they got in the ring, he was catching him with right hooks left and right. I mean, his damn face couldn't stay away from that right hand. So, and to me, he was out on his feet at least twice. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what happened in that ring. All I know is that Albright whooped his ass, and the judges that tried to give him 95, shame on you, because wasn't no damn way that was no tie, nowhere, no how. But the reaction from Keyshawn is what really like kind of just completely drove me over the edge, because I was already a little annoyed with him for missing weight and blowing an opportunity to defend his title that he just won. You know what I'm saying? And then on top of that, you go and you do this goofy shit. So I don't know. And so I'm gonna ask you then, Tony, what repercussions, if any, do you think that he will get?
Um, I don't know. the The problem is when I look at boxing as the business of boxing, Bob Arum's in a tough spot because he's about to lose his ESPN contract, and this didn't help. So he's only got so many stars, you know what I mean? And when you start losing your stars and making your stars sit out for a year, 2 years, etc., that's lost revenue, that's lost everything. So it's like I think Bob's going to do everything he can to mitigate the trouble that he's in. I would imagine. I'm not. I can say what I think should happen, but I'm going to tell you what I think is going to happen first. I think they're going to give him a 6-month suspension, which is nothing because most fighters fight once every 6 months, and I think they may give him a small fine of like $5,000 to $10,000, and that's going to be the extent of his punishment, in my opinion. It'll be a 6-month ban and like $5,000 to $10,000. To Jay real fast, and I'll ask Ty. He said Keyshawn's behavior on this weekend is like Ryan Garcia on steroids. Is he on something? So is Lil Kiki acting like this because of the snack pack? You think it's getting to his brain?
You know what? I don't like to give these fighters excuses. Who the hell knows the effect of snack was happening with these motherfuckers? I just know he had a meltdown. But I will say this. I don't know if it has anything to do with snack, but I think to your point that you made earlier, it's the pressure. And I said this, like I said on my live, if the pressure is too much, then you don't belong in stardom. Okay. If you can't handle simple things like your damn job, you're a boxer. And if you plan on competing at the elite level and you're putting on performances that are going to garner attention, then you have to be prepared for the stardom. And so, like I said, some of these boxers are more, I guess, infatuated with being called a boxer than actually being a boxer. You know what I mean? I think they just like the attention that it brings because they're always on social media. They up there more than hell than I am. You know what I'm saying? I be looking up there like, why don't you go train? Well, I be getting annoyed. Like, why don't you go train? Tio, for instance. Why don't you go train? Why don't you go do something? You know what I'm saying? So I really don't know what's going on with this generation of boxers, but pack them up, get them out of here. That's the only thing I can say. Because they taking a whole bunch of soft touches, protecting O's, really just running around here clout chasing one another or trying to outdo one another except in the damn ring. So I'm not even sure what they have going on, but I will say this. Now, you said you think you don't know what they're going to do because Top Rank is losing their contract. Yes, Top Rank will be homeless come the end of August. However, I still feel like something should be done. Now, I don't know what exactly, but I do feel like there should be some sort of punishment for that kind of activity because I don't care how many other boxers have done it in the past. This sends a horrible message that I can't even win fair and square without the fear of some sort of vigilante repercussions. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I agree with you. Oh, is my mic working? There it goes. I think my
Mm-hmm.
mic quit working for a second. No, I agree with you. I don't know. I just this is a bad look. Like boxing just has all these bad looks, like time and time again. Hey, Thomas Hill, if you want to hop on, I'll drop the link for you. Let me drop the link one more time. I was hoping 2 cents would jump
Just pin
on.
it. Just pin it, Tony.
I got your channel pinned.
Oh, well, unpin that and pin yours.
Nah, we gonna keep you pinned so people can click and subscribe to you as well.
All right. Well, drop the link then so Thomas can come up and give his 2 cents and 2 cent can come up and give her
He
2 cents.
he was
And
saying that at the press conference, somebody asking Adula Mason questions sounded like me. Was it me asking questions? Nah, I ain't got my press conferences. Like I rarely drop videos here recently. Over the last like 4 or 5 months, I rarely ever drop videos. So, my channel's kind of
I,
stagnated.
yeah, I'm trying to figure out. I've been sliding in some DMs. I'm trying to make some shit happen. So we gonna see. I know they like, girl, if you don't get your little 2 subscribers up out of here, but I'm telling them, I'm trying to tell you, I better get on this train while it was leaving the tracks. 'Cause once I'm rolling, I'm rolling. But nah, I definitely want to talk to them instead of about them. You know what I'm saying? I be up in their spaces, trying to be up in their business too. Like the other night, I was creeping. I heard Tio on Spaces. He was with Mike Tyson, and I think it was I don't know if it was Sattel from Fight Hype. I gotta remember the symbol, but anyway, he was talking about being offered to fight Devin Haney. You remember at the beginning of the week, it was that whole bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Him and Devin ducking each other, playing pity pat, whatever the hell was going on. After the whole thing with the boots thing, which came after the wave of the Bud Crawford shit. So, and then the in between racism, you know what I'm saying? So I was up there peeking at that, and he was just saying he don't want to fight Devin. Devin's boring. He would entertain the winner of Hitchinson and Cambosis. I don't know why when Cambosis done beat him half to death already. So that was a whole mess. But back to Keyshawn, I don't know what should be done. I just know something should be. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree with you. They definitely need to do something because you can't have that happening. Like you can't because then fights aren't going to be won in the ring. They're going to be won in the dressing room because
Mm-hmm.
it is eventually going to turn into something that's really going to have one of these dudes hurt bad and they're going to be hospitalized. Like because it could get real fast.
Or worse.
Yeah, or worse. Like I said, real fast, like super fast. What's going on, Thomas? What's going on, 2 Cents? By the way, if you haven't done it yet, go to 2 Cents Boxing, subscribe. She's the quickest rising star, the YTBC. So go ahead and give her a subscription as well.
Shout out to y'all. Shout out Tony's reviews. I caught you live, bro.
That's what I said when I was strolling through YouTube, and I almost fainted. He was up here talking bad about Kiki. Can you believe it?
Tony, they've been waiting on you to come on the show to hear what you was about to say about Keyshawn. They've been like, where is Tony? Where is Tony?
I can't rock with Kiki on this.
Tony done entered the witness protection program, child.
Nah, I can't rock with Kiki. He absolutely wrong. It's no defending this. It was the wrong time. Anybody that's able to, reach that type of level in 13 fights, sell out his hometown, get his brothers on a card. He was on his way to something, and I'm not saying he's still not, but this is definitely a bump in the road. And you know how they do black fighters. It's gonna always be brought up every single time his name is mentioned.
I mean, maybe not, because I say maybe not because if you look like it's Shakur, people don't even know, like, really, that Shakur jumped some girl with a dude. Like, there's old ass video.
We know that. We know
you didn't know that? You never seen
that? No, I saw it.
Oh, okay. But I'm saying nobody ever brings that up, and that happened like years ago.
Yeah, so, but that wasn't at the event.
I agree, but I'm just saying I think with time, people forget about things, especially in the social media era where everybody's on 8-second videos or less. I don't think in this genre, this era that we live in, it'll be talked about more than a year, and then it'll be forgotten like it never happened.
Yeah, the road of atonement is still there for him. I mean, but he's gonna have to move completely different. He's gonna have to have some accountability, man, and he can't blow whatever opportunities he gets going forward. The problem with this whole thing is that it's Bob Arum we talking about, and Bob Arum had to. I mean, he saved essentially some money for not having to pay him out, and only having to refund a little bit of money, but it's more so the look than anything else with me regarding Bob. I think it'd be pretty critical to see how he takes that look and moves with that, because he was essentially like you said, and like 2 Cents just said, he was being fast tracked for stardom, and in one fell swoop, a whole weekend of stuff, it just didn't happen, man. I got good advisement that he showed up only 2 pounds over the weight limit, and he added more. So like he clearly didn't have any intention on making this fight.
What? Wait. Say that again. I think I misheard you.
Somebody there said that when he showed up in the morning time before the weigh-in, he was 2 pounds over the weight. And then he added 2 more pounds by the official weigh-in. So it doesn't seem as though he really tried. I mean, Bob even himself said he knows what it looks like when people try to make weight and when you don't try. And he didn't even try. So I'm pretty sure he was alluding to that very fact. And if, like I say, if that is true, then you truly had no intention on fighting. And I'm not sure why. The dude hadn't been fighting for a while. He was coming off of blood clots. He probably wouldn't have been as active as he normally is or as strong as he normally is in the ring. And you've been fighting pretty regularly. So I don't know if it was, I don't want to get outshined by a young whippersnapper in my own hometown, or he just really don't care, or he going through some stuff upstairs mentally, and it kind of derailed him in his progress. But as Tony said, he effed up not just for himself, but for some people that probably don't even deserve the look they're getting, but they're getting because of you. Well, shout out his little brother. His little brother still looks like he got something that can be marketed, but I honestly believe after this went down, my man Bob went to the bat phone and said, "Yo, Nair, bets off. Go out there and whoop that tail." Because it was a tough fight with him and Keyshawn. And Nair's got skills too, man. So I just think that at that point in time, it just didn't wash well for the city. The city rolling out the red carpet. They're giving you keys to the city. They're naming streets after you. They're giving you days in their calendar. You got the legends of the area coming out, ready to walk you out, and you over there you scarfing down on some popcorn as a ringside attendee at your main event. That some cat from Cleveland came over here and took over. It's not a good look, man. But it's not one that he can't come back from, like Tony said.
Yeah, I believe anybody and everybody can come back. But the thing is like, this shit was just dumb, like dumb. Like in one night you striked out, like literally striked out, because the fight didn't happen. So you lost your main event. You got stripped of your title, and then you jumped somebody. Like literally, you had 3 strikes in one night. It all just your whole trajectory just hit the fucking water. You crashed. And again, like you said, Ohio showed up. Abdullah Mason. I say if Bob Arum really wants to get rid of Lil Kiki, run that Mason fight next. Run it next. Or put Hitchens in there with Lil Kiki. Richard will beat the shit out of him. I think Hitchens is the best dude at 140.
Yeah, I don't know about all that, but I will say this: I don't think that Abdullah Mason will fight Keyshawn next. I think that as long as they're both still on top rank, Bob will look to make that some sort of super match. But I mean, I don't know what should be done about Keyshawn, but I do know something needs to be done. That's outrageous, bro, and that can't go unchecked because he's already big-headed. So if that goes unchecked, that's just going to open up a floodgate to think for other people, first of all, to think they can do that shit. And then for two, there'll be no stopping him because he already thinks he's something that he's not yet. He's on his way, but he has not arrived. So, in my opinion, they need to nip this in the bud before it completely gets out of control, almost like a child acting out. You know what I'm saying? Nip it in the bud before they become a damn serial killer or a goddamn school shooter. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I know something definitely needs to be done, but I just don't know what. I don't want to be too egregious and I don't want to be too lenient, but I do feel like he needs to understand that he crossed the line.
But the thing about it is he ain't even young. The dude like 26 years old. So like him being young, minded and all that. Yeah, him being young, minded and all that shit goes out the fucking window. By the time you're 26 years old, it's not like when you're first 21,
Nah, Tony, there's a bunch of grown-ass men still running around here young-minded as hell.
I don't disagree with that. But at the end of the day, at 26 years old, you's a grown-ass fucking man. Like, period. I don't care how childish you act. You're still a grown-ass man. There is no, oh, he's young. You're not young at 26. I'm sorry. You're not young no more.
Yo, on top of that, like you said, being 26, if there's some stiff penalty, that could put him back to like when he see the ring, he 29 or he 28.
Yeah. I just don't think they're gonna do that, Thomas. I think it's gonna be a 6-month suspension. I base that off of all them other fighters. Like I base it off of everything that I've seen. Like I've seen fighters caught on PEDs where they go 6 months, a year max. I mean, I've watched some of the most egregious cheating happen in boxing with stars, and it's always 6 months to a year, so they can just fight at their normal scheduled time.
No, that very well can be, but then there's Bob Arum. How does he feel? Does he want to put him out there? Does he want to spend money on him, or do he want to let him sit on that shelf and promote the younger buck that came out there and was a professional that day?
I don't know. I mean, Bob Arum's been known to shelf people, and he's also been known to, when he doesn't like you, he throws you to the wolves and gives you the hardest fights that you could possibly be in.
Hey, well, hopefully that's the course right there. That would be the ultimate payback. But who would that be? Because it would have to be somebody from top rank. So who would it be?
Well, I mean, if he goes up to 140, he could throw him in there with Tio.
How you see that fight playing out, man? I don't know, man. Tio is an enigma, man. At times he can fight like a world beater, and at times he can fight like the world can beat him.
Yeah, Tio is one of them fighters that you can say that he rises to the occasion. Like if it's not a big fight, it's like he doesn't train as hard. So he has a lackluster performance. But when it's like a big premier name, he shows up.
I would love to see that fight though, especially with the backstory. You know, him and whatever the hell he had going on that one press conference. I like to see it, and plus, I like Tio to get that chance to exact his revenge on a brother because he been waiting to get at a brother for the longest time.
It looked like Albright gonna be fighting Keyshawn next, and he used his brother as a tune-up.
I mean, that would be good, but is Albright a 140-pound fighter? Because I guarantee you, Lil Kiki's going to 140.
He fought his brother at 140.
Oh, was it 140? I thought it was 135.
No, it was 140, but I don't know if his older brother was a 140, man. Hey, shout out to my man Kelvin, but he didn't look like he had 140 pop at all.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. That would have been the move for him to make before going in this man's dressing room and assaulting him. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, if you wanted some get back from your brother, get it in the ring, bro.
I agree 100%.
Yeah, that truly was the biggest, or the most egregious flaw right there. Was you went into the man's dressing room and started this stuff.
But my thing is, I keep falling back to, like, at the end of the day, let's say you felt some type of way because this dude just beat your brother's ass in front of you. If you were truly about their life, if you were truly not scared of somebody, you'll run up on them one-on-one, especially being a professional fighter. The fact that he needed backup and had to jump the dude, I keep coming back full circle to, you're a pussy in real life. You're scary. Because it's a different, a street fight is way different than a boxing match. Way different than a boxing match. And if you have to jump somebody when you allegedly a top fighter, a top dog, especially somebody your own damn size, to me, you a pussy. And that's just how I can't get around that.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I don't disagree whatsoever.
It's just like, think about this right here. When Caleb Plant, what just happened? When Caleb Plant slapped Charlo, right? Charlo had everybody with him. He could have had everybody jump Caleb Plant. And if you watch the video, he's telling them dudes not to do nothing. Like literally saying, don't do nothing, don't do nothing, don't do nothing. Because Charlo knew. Like if he really wanted to get Plant was in a bad situation all by himself with everybody around Charlo ready to go. And Charlo, I mean, personally, if somebody slaps me, I'm going to fight them. Because you a grown man don't slap another grown man. But,
hey, man,
he called off the wolves. Like literally go watch the video and listen what Charlo's saying and watch his hands. He's telling them dudes not to jump Caleb. And that's the thing, like one-on-one. But you got to jump somebody, you scary.
Yeah, that's crazy, yo. It is crazy. It really is.
Well, I mean, the thing is, like going up to 40, it becomes a little bit more difficult for him too. So it's interesting to see how they're going to move with Keyshawn, how things transpire from this weekend, I should say. And, you know, what he does going forward. I mean, I don't wish career suicide on him. I don't wish that, you know, he don't get a chance to try to do whatever he can in this sport. But to be accountable for his actions, and that's paramount, I think, in order for him to get anything going forward. Instead of the way that he's been responding, somebody got to sit him down and tell him, like, look, man, you gotta move silent for a while, man. You gotta own up to what you did, and then you just gotta be radio silent. And then when opportunities come, you got to make the most of them.
Has he already? Has anybody seen if he's given the fake apology yet? Because I'm waiting for that.
He hasn't. That's the thing. He has. His brother did, but he hasn't.
Yeah, he put some on Facebook.
Oh, he did?
Yes.
What did he say?
I think Fight Hype posted. I screenshotted it. Let me pull it up real quick. He says on Facebook, which who is his age on Facebook?
Really?
On behalf of DB3, we apologize for conducting ourselves in that way. Tension was high and emotions got the best of us. We will be back and better and more professional. It's ups and downs with this, and we gonna take what comes with it. With that being said, we didn't jump nobody, but keep believing the media that's twisting narratives. Part of the game. We will regroup, but it will be for us and not our people. Shout out to the MF Juice Man.
Is that
So
supposed to be an apology?
a half-ass apology and then didn't admit to anything that he did. Gotcha.
And then had the nerve to get an attitude. And man, listen, this kid. I'm not even gonna say this kid. This
Yo,
fool is out of control.
the only one who actually held themselves in a high regard has been the one that actually lost the fight. He was the one that
Exactly.
struck. Yeah, I mean, I gotta rock with him, man, because he was like, yo, dawg, that wasn't really what was supposed to go down, man. He didn't deserve that. I respect that, and he the one that was in the fight. But yeah, it just was a bad look. But hopefully, it's not one that is career ending. To get more looks as things transpire and time passes. But just know that like we as people we don't get many chances. And he got a chance of a lifetime to build something for his family where they, don't have to worry for a while about anything. So hopefully that be his calling card for him to turn things around because it's still salvageable.
I don't know what 2 Cents just read. I don't know if he turned around shit, to be honest with you. I mean, that's wild. Like, that wasn't even a fake apology that I was expecting.
Yeah, I was expecting a little bit more humility.
Nah, I agree, Tony. I really agree, man. It was an apology, and I heard that earlier today on Just a show. His segue. That's why I ain't even counted as an apology, man. Just looked like him justifying, the things that did transpire, but somewhat sideways saying, yeah, I got to do better, but not being really truly accountable, and that's what he's going to have accountability. Because if you don't have no accountability, this stuff will just fester and get worse.
Thousand percent. It's just, not everybody's built for that. Not everybody has humility. Not everybody. I mean, judging by his response, it sounds like to me he don't even give two shits. To be honest with
I
you, like
mean,
he doesn't
really.
care. Like I don't think anything's gonna change. In all honesty, like judging off that response, like I think he just gonna take whatever they're gonna give him, and he gonna do whatever he does. You gotta understand, he got in trouble for with Albright. This is the second time he got in trouble with Albright. The first time he got his win taken away because he was smoking weed. Then after he got caught, he didn't do what the other professionals do, and they apologized, like, "Oh, I messed up. I shouldn't have done it." He was like, "I'm gonna keep smoking weed." That was his response.
See, now if that's just who he is, then it's only going to be more problems to follow, and
It's
that's
that whole
unfortunate.
camp that it reeks of Bud Crawford energy, bro. It just does. The whole whatever I don't really care type of energy. Like I'm that Igga. That whole energy, bro. It's all of them over there. It just reeks. It stinks over there. That whole I don't know, man. It's just he's suffering from. He needs to be humbled and quickly.
Well, I think their king, Mr. Terrence Crawford, is about to get humbled very quickly. Um, we got what's coming up is going to be Canelo's Beef Stro versus Snack Pack. Which one's stronger?
Stop it. Oh my God. Who knows, Tony? We don't know.
Hey, that beef hit different. I know that. That boy going in the ring looking like he did against Charlo, boy. I know that guacamole sauce was actually popping.
Stop it. Yeah,
Like I said,
terrible.
Bistro versus Snack Pack. Which one is stronger in the ring? That's what we gonna find out. Um, but it could be a bad omen. Like you had Lil Kiki's brother lose, then Lil Kiki lost control. We just seen what was it, Chiron? He lost. So we
Yeah.
could just be
He got
seeing
the
the
brakes beat off of him. Good golly,
yeah.
Miss Molly.
This could be the beginning of the end for the Bomac team. Like they could just be, sometimes these
I
things
thought,
just
hold
follow
on.
like
I
they
thought Kyron was with Bernie. was with what you call it? I didn't know he was with
I thought he went to Bud.
Nah, I thought he was with he's still with what's that nigga name? Oh God, the one that Jesus Christ, what is his name? Bird or something. What is it? No, he's with the other kid because I remember saying he went 0 for 2 on that card. The Kevin Plant trainer. He's with him, isn't he?
Oh, you talking about Breadman?
Yeah, he's with Breadman. I thought.
I could be wrong.
The one that went against Hernandez, you talking about, right?
Yeah, I might be wrong. You might be right.
Yeah, I think he's with Breadman.
Oh yeah, he was trained by Breadman for that fight. That boy just went into a typhoon that night. That boy was not to be played with. Shout out to him for taking a beating, but you know that boy was taking a beating.
A beating took. And a
Yeah,
beating
he took a beating.
Well, let's fall back to another one that got his ass whooped. Steven Nelson. That's one definitely from his camp that got whooped.
Who? Bomax camp?
Yeah, Steven Nelson.
I didn't know he trained him.
Yeah.
What do they see in this fat bastard? Because I'm trying to tell you.
Because Pachenko beat the shit out of him.
Oh, that's right. Damn.
Well, you said Nelson left their camp?
No, I said that was a loss from their camp. Nelson.
Oh, I mean, they take plenty of losses. The only person that was winning from their camp was Keyshawn and freaking Terrence Crawford.
Damn.
That's what I'm saying. Like, this could be a bad omen right here. And you know, the next thing is for Crawford to go ahead, get in there, get his pay. I know you'll get payday. Because I think Crawford just selling that. Oh, I think that's all this is.
Oh yeah, he looking for that severance pay.
Damn, y'all think so?
I think so. I just hope when Canelo wins, he starts doing the cha-cha with his wife, like Crawford likes to do whenever he wins with his mom. That's what I would do if I was Canelo. I start cha-chaing in there with some fucking maracas in my hand.
Listen, I don't know what is going to happen with all of that, but finally, and then I read something where Dana White said he's going to put on the fight. I thought he said he wasn't going to do it. Now he's saying he's going to do it.
Oh, I thought
they changed their mind again, man. Listen, as soon as they in the ring, I'll be like the fight happening because the back and forth is too much. You can't keep up.
It is. It is.
Yeah, I thought Turkey said he didn't want to do business with Dana White.
Earlier today, he said that his good friend Dana White. Hold on, I got the screenshot on my phone. Let me read it.
All right.
Earlier today, he said that he's gonna let his good friend Dana White. Now that's his good friend. Dana White said a couple weeks ago, Turkey ain't shit, but we ain't gonna get into all that.
I think Dana is horrible for boxing. Did you see his pay structure? He was like,
yeah, I saw that
get $1 million, challengers get $750, and then it just goes way down from there. Like, he's really trying to do UFC payments in boxing.
Yeah, I don't know what he got going on. Somebody's damn screenshot. Okay, Turkey says Dana will promote the fight. Here we go. Yeah, so on his X account, my brother Dana will promote this fight. It is the fight of Riyadh season, and we have a deal with TKO to promote it, and it will be the biggest fight in boxing. And tomorrow, I think I will tell the details and the platform and the place for the fight, me and Dana, with a thumbs up. Yep, that was earlier today.
That's wild. I just want Dana. I want Dana to stay the fuck out of boxing. That's all.
He need to worry about it. He need to worry about.
He spelled that at multiple times. He used to talk bad about boxing.
Yes, he did, especially Oscar. He can't stand Oscar De La Hoya.
The thing is I'm gonna be honest. I think Dana White, if he truly had control over boxing, I think we get way better fights. Just looking at how the UFC set up. But the thing is, the dude is a fucking crook. He's going to take the fighters all their money. They're going to get paid like 5%, 4% of what they generate. And that's why I say I don't want to see him in boxing. Like, you want to hear something funny? Listen to the UFC fighters do mental gymnastics of why they make so little money. Like they really be hooping through or jumping through all these hoops to
Don't he owe them
justify.
like millions of dollars or something?
What's that?
Don't he owe them like
Yeah, he just
millions of
lost
dollars?
a $1 million, a $375 million lawsuit. He got to pay them.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's ridiculous.
like I said, like Dana's a fucking thief.
Sarah.
Like all these promotional companies, like don't get me wrong, like Bob Arum, he makes money off the fighters, so does Al Heyman, etc. Right? But their fighters get paid. They get paid good. Dana, you not making no money. Like, you got to think about it. Think about how expensive. Okay, first off, let's say you make $1 million in boxing, right? Well, off top, taxes is going to take 50% of that. So now your million just turned into 500,000. Then you got to pay for a training camp. Then you got to pay every single fighter who comes to that training camp. Then you got to pay your manager a certain percentage, however you have your contract set up. Then you have to pay the sanctioning bodies, however many belts are on the line, a certain percentage. By the time it's all said and done, $1 million could turn into 100,000, 200,000, and Dana only has his dudes fighting like once a year.
Damn.
So you a pro fighter and you walking away with like $100,000 to $200,000. There's normal 9-to-5 jobs that can make that.
Yeah, I think what Dana is looking for is an introduction into a bigger cachet to pull from, and he knows boxing is very lucrative if you can get the events. I mean, there are a lot of people who rock with this UFC stuff, and they do make a lot of money off of that. But I don't know how great a scale it is. Whereas boxing, we definitely know it's worldwide and it's huge everywhere. So I think that he wants to.
So let me tell you how fucked up UFC is, okay? Let me explain this to you, Thomas. Francis Ngannou, go look this shit up. Francis Ngannou made more money fighting Tyson Fury in one fight than he made his entire MMA career. You could add up all his purses, and it was less than what he got fighting Tyson Fury.
No, absolutely. I think that your boy made a lot of money off of that fight, though. The Tyson Ngannou. I mean, not the Tyson Ngannou, but the Ngannou in his platform. I think he made a lot of money off of him. Ngannou just wasn't making no money. But I do believe it's much more ludicrous when you talk about the skill of boxing, and that's more so than anything that is got his attention. He want to make that type of money with people, so he's hoping and banking that they probably will see a great deal of success, like some of these other leagues that have started up. I mean, hell, it's only a matter of time for pro box really takes off because they're giving people some great ass action.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah. And a lot of their fights are free on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's even the best benefit about it. You're getting sometimes better action than pay-per-views, and it's on an app. I mean, I'm not on an app, but it's on YouTube.
Yeah, not for real.
Hey, y'all hold it down. I'll be right back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, not for real.
Hey, but shout out to the sisters up on the stage. But today, both of y'all had a show. I was in worship, so I couldn't get to neither one of them, but I did watch the playback.
Okay.
Yeah.
Man, the space needs some common sense and logic. These men too emotional, man.
No cap. No cap. You hear what I'm saying? No cap.
I don't know what happened to No Cap today. That nigga put his cape on and came up there ready to cap. I was like, oh my goodness.
That boy turned superhero with it up.
What is going on, my little friend, honey? I don't know what happened to him. He was on it like, listen, niggas get jumped every day, D.
And what's it with your boy, my man, he hacker. Oh my God. Man, let that have been Tank that did this nonsense that just transpired. Man, it would be no reasoning. It would be we got to listen to his side. It would be none of that bull-ish. It would be guilty life like they did up in the movie.
Yeah, man. I don't know what's up. But I tell you what, people, it's interesting though to see how people like are trying to kind of just make it seem like it's not a big deal. You know what I'm saying? I find that really interesting. I don't understand what that's all about, but whatever.
Yo, I don't know, man. Like I say, to me, I've always held the same energy for everything and everyone. So I look at the chance of these fights being made, and I hold everybody accountable for it. Like
Hmm.
everybody's accountable. Unfortunately, the biggest people who are the most accountable are the ones who are paying to put these fights on. And if they're not on board with the fights, then the fight's definitely not getting put on. And that's where the energy should be directed. But unfortunately, we do oftentimes direct it towards fighters. And then there are some fighters that show their true tails and show that they really not with the ish like that. So they
Hmm.
deserve what they get. But I mean, if the younger crap is the ones that's gonna bring the fact that we got to get fight and action in the ring, then I'm with it. And if the other cats that's before them don't want it, then put them in the ring and let them show us what boxing is. But
Figure it out, right? Yeah.
yeah, you know what I'm saying. I just want to see the fights, bro. Sis, that's all I really want to do is just see the fights, man. And I want to see a way that we can possibly get to it. I don't want to hear the same rigmarole of this, that, and that. I just want to see, hey, you know what? Come this date, yo, we got this fight on, and on this card, we got this on there, and it's gonna be a night of action, and we're gonna get a little bit of discernment in the division. That's all I really want to see. But until that point, I understand what it is, and while there, are, like I said, there are some fighters that definitely are posturing themselves not to get in the ring. Other times it's because the people just don't want to put them in the ring with other folks. And the coldest part is for certain folks it's acceptable, and for certain other folks it's blasphemy. And that's where I have the biggest issue with. Like you got promoters coming out and people who were being accused of getting ducked saying, hey, yo, look, this never was a case. We never entertained no look with this person in the ring. And
Who,
yet
what
still
do you
people were
mean?
still.
Like, what do you like? What do you mean by that? Who's coming out saying we never entertained anything? What are you talking about? Tio?
Well, man, Tio, the biggest cap in it. And so with Tio, just this point right here, I mean, just think about what is going on with him. He's in a bad relationship with somebody who really don't like him and who got all the power. No, real, this is real rap. You know Bob don't feel him. And when
Yeah.
Bob don't feel you, you get no action. And if them belts go anywhere, best believe they stay with Top Rank. He not about to make no move to get them into a fight where he possibly can lose it to a competitive promotional company. So he's gonna sit on the shelf until they get somebody that they fully believe, yo, take that belt, or they take the belt from him due to inactivity. And that's why I believe more so than anything, Tio showing his tail. He's showing his tail because he's looking for somebody to provide him a way out. Because he know he in a conundrum.
But
And that's what
he said that he only owes them what, sanctioning fees?
I mean, he did say that, but he also said that he wanted Boots, he wanted Tank, he wanted Crawford, and lo and behold, we got Steve Claggett. I don't believe a word that man say. I believe
Facts.
everything. I just believe he says what he got to say to make him look good. And somebody said it the other day. I forgot whose show we were on, but it was like, yo, we got to pay attention. I think it was on your show, 2 Cents, and I believe it was JD. JD said the most clearest understanding of what it was that go down with T.O. He was like, yo, if you always pay attention, T.O. will never say nothing until it's nothing going on with him. And then at that point in time, he talk about how he want to make boxing great again. He want to call this people out and this person out. But then you'll see him get in the ring with this type of people. And if he's in a fight, that's what it's going to be. And that's what it's it. That's what it is. That's what it is for a lot of these other fighters as well too. They be pump faking with a lot of stuff, just like we saw literally this week. We saw a brother take 7 or 8 pump fakes and didn't take the shot at all. That boy passed it over to Abdullah so he could take the shot.
Yeah. I don't know what that was about, yo. I
That's
really
crazy,
don't.
man. We're gonna see. We're gonna see what happens. It's a lot of cape wearing out here, but I mean, I just think they finna fight at 140. I mean, why not? He at 140. He say he feel comfortable at the weight. Keyshawn moving up to 140. You mad because he beat up your brother? Go fight him.
Well,
That's what it should have
you,
said at the
you talking
beginning.
about
Yeah.
Albright? Dang father, my God! You talking about
Yeah,
Nair Albright?
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, I would see it. I would really like to see it. I think 40 is dangerous for Keyshawn because you know, especially given the fact that just happened, man. If Bob want to be difficult, like Tony said, man, he can put him in the ring with some people, especially because he ain't gonna have no belt. Put him in there and really see what he got. Um, I think that's the main reason why Tio don't want to fight at 40. There's plenty of opportunities for him to unify or even to defend his title. Hell, he can run it back with Sandor Martin if he really want to. If you really want to make sure he still got it and he really want to save boxing, he could do it that way. Devin the same way. Devin got people that he could fight at 140. But where they gonna fight? If they going to 47? There's people there at 47 to fight. So
Yeah.
like they stuck in a place where like they really can't operate too safely. It's like, you in them pools that one step and that's just really go deep. They teetering along that safe space. And one step and they can be into a big ass abyss and they trying not to get into that abyss and ain't much operation for them to no operating room for them. That's how I see it. At least that's how I see it. Now I could be wrong, but it's going to be telling to see who they put these fighters in the ring with next. That's going to be the biggest telltale sign because a lot of
Yeah.
them, yeah, a lot of them they in between 47. There's some hitters up there at 47.
That's true.
um, who's going to 47? You talking about like Devin?
Well, that's what Devin said. Devin, he don't want to fight at 40.
But every dude he calls out is at 40.
Every dude is at 40. See what I'm saying? And then Tio calling out everybody at 47, but he got people at 40 calling him out. They got
So
people that's underneath 40 calling him out. So it's kind of hard because do they really want to get in the ring with somebody at 47? And if so, who's going to be that one person that they can get in the ring where they ain't got to worry about?
I don't think Devin can win at 147. If we just talking strictly Devin, I don't see the thing about Tio is I think Tio versus Boots is a harder fight for Boots than it is versus Devin. I think Boots has a way easier time with Devin. Devin doesn't come with a lot of power. Boots is going to be bigger than him, so he ain't got to worry about Devin being on the run because he can still touch him. I just think it's an easy fight. Not easy, but I think it's an easier fight. With Tio, Boots does everything that Tio wants you to do. He comes forward, throws a lot of shots. So for a counter puncher, that's like a miracle matchup for you. So I just think stylistically, if there's going to be an upset, Tio is more likely to beat Boots than Devin is by a stylistic matchup. I can't see Devin beating Boots. I can't see Devin standing
I
on his
can't
feet.
see Tio beating him if we're being honest.
Yeah, but you never know. Like one punch could change everything, and Boots could get reckless and run into a counter punch.
I mean, I hear what he's saying. I do believe if anyone has a better chance of winning against Boots out of those two, I would say Tio has the better chance of winning. I don't think that Boots has any problem at all, but especially with Devin, I don't see that there'd be any kind of resistance that he'll get from Devin. And given the fact that Little Loma was walking Devin down and was pretty much having his way, what is Boots going to do? But
That's
I
what
don't.
that's what I'm saying. Like I don't see it being a hard fight for Boots. I just don't think Devin has the firepower.
But then who do they fight? Because like I'm not sure Boots takes any of those fights because it really doesn't do much for him. People could say that beating Tio would have more of a better look than beating Devin. because of the things that Tio has accomplished in different weight class. But
But I mean, Thomas, if we're being honest, what has he really accomplished besides Loma? Who on his resume is like highlighted or a world beater?
see, I feel the same way with Devin. I think Loma is the best win out of all those people in that same bracket. I think that Loma, even though he's small and really wasn't like at his best in 35, he's still clearly the best opponent that any of those contemporaries have on their resume.
Yeah, but here's the thing about it. You have to understand this. George Kambosos beat Tio badly. Like, he clearly beat him, and Devin beat him twice. So, with that being said, I don't know if I
Cambosis beat Tio half to death.
what's that?
Okay.
What I'm saying is I don't know if Tio's a better win than Devin. I mean, the thing about Devin is he took a huge hit to his stock when he lost, but now it's no longer a loss to Ryan. But you have the asterisks around it. Was Ryan truly on something? Ryan missed weight. You know what I mean? There's an asterisk next to that loss that no longer exists. So that's where he took a huge hit to his stock. However, with that loss being erased, I can't truly say that Tio's a better win than Devin because Devin accomplished something that Tio didn't. Devin was actually undisputed. Tio wasn't. Devin went up and fought Regis and beat him while he had a title. Josh Taylor, truth be told, came off of a loss against Catterall. He shouldn't have won that fight. He lost that fight.
Honestly, Tony, I think he came off of 2 losses. I thought he lost the Regis fight too. I really believe that.
I mean, the Regis fight.
You think Devin lost the Regis fight?
Oh, hell no. Hell. We talking about Josh Taylor. Hell no. Devin beat the bejesus out of Regis. That was the best Devin performance I've ever seen. That boy was styling in that ring that night, and he looked good physically too. Nah, we was talking about Taylor. Taylor came off of a loss, and he really did. He came off of a loss to Catterall, but I thought prior to that, the fight before that was Josh Taylor, right? I mean, Josh Taylor and Regis Prograis.
Yeah.
I thought he lost that fight. I thought that Regis won 7 of those rounds. Honestly,
here's my thing. I with that fight, it was so competitive, so close. I'm not going to argue with somebody saying they thought Regis won, and I'm not going to argue with somebody saying they thought Josh won because it was that close of a fight. Like, depending on how you score things, I feel like it could have went either way. It was a very close fight. So I'm not going to argue with you thinking that Regis won that fight. But in my opinion, unless you're from fucking Ireland, there's nobody in this world that can tell me that Catterall lost to Josh Taylor.
You right about that. It was definitely.
Yeah, you got a point there.
It definitely was by a wide margin. I don't know if you can give him 4 rounds in that fight, but somehow, some way, he won. and you're right. You're right about Prograis, man. The thing that I think really hurt Prograis was the last 3 rounds, man. He lost every single one of those rounds.
Yeah. So, I mean, again, I don't know if Tio is a better win than Devin, in all honesty, because if Devin would have never had that performance against Ryan, I would say he's by far the better win, in my opinion, than Tio. Because at the end of the day, he beat the guy twice that beat Tio, George Kambosos. And we're about to find out how good Kambosos really is because he's about to fight Hitchens. So if he gets another upset, then we can start to say that people need to start respecting.
Bruh, we are not about to find out how good Kambosos really is. We already know. Stop it, Tony.
Hold on. This is what I don't like. So George Kambosos
has lost his last 5 fights.
No, he hasn't. He only lost to Devin.
Officially.
I disagree. I watched his last 5 fights. I don't think he lost.
You don't think he lost to
nope.
Maxie Hughes?
No, I think Maxie was doing the same thing William Skull was doing. He was too much on the back foot, not trying to engage, and he lost the fight because of it.
You really don't believe he lost that fight?
No, I think Maxie was too much in flight mode. Maxie, I don't see it. I don't think Maxie did enough to win. Just like I didn't think William Skull did enough to win against Canelo.
He definitely didn't do enough to win against Canelo. I definitely disagree with you on the Maxi Hughes thing. And he got beat up by the last dude he just fought. The
Oh yeah,
last
the
fight he
dude, the
just had, he got
Australian
beat up.
kid, the Australian kid. I forget his name. Yeah, I think he a jump off right now, but I think that they just gonna put him in there because he got a name. And
Did you say he a jump off?
I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said it that way, but I just feel like they're just giving them to whoever they're trying to push now.
Look, this is all I know. This is all I know. George Kambosos has fought 3 elite fighters. He beat one of them. He beat
Agreed.
T.O. He beat T.O. He lost to Devin. He lost to Loma. But those are 2 elite fighters that beat him. If he goes up to 140 and beats Hitchens, you got to start putting respect on his name. I'm not saying he's going to win, but I'm saying if he does win,
I ain't putting respect on shit. He ain't nothing but a glorified gatekeeper, and that's that.
You can't say that if he beats Hitchens.
How do you rank Hitchens, Todd? How do you view him?
He all right. He ain't nothing but a high class Devin, if you ask me.
Well, that's for everybody. How do you guys rate that?
I think Hitchens beats everybody at 140.
I mean, I definitely believe in his skill set. I'm not sure about his temperament, but his skill set is pretty damn elite almost. I would say it's almost elite. I'm just not sure if he's willing to engage the way he trusts his skill set to the point where he's willing to do what he has to do to get people up out of there or just dominate him.
You don't have to get them out of there to win. I just think his IQ is better than his peers, at least at 140. And I think after a couple of rounds, like all of his fights, he figures them out and then he beats them. So that's where I come back full circle to saying what I just said. If George Kambosos can beat him, and that's a big if he beats him, then you got to start putting respect on George's name because now he's 50% against elite fighters.
I would give him his credit if he were able to pull it off against Hitchens. I don't believe he stands a chance against Hitchens. So if he beats him, I would definitely credit him for that. That being said, I still don't believe he beat Maxi Hughes, but I thought Maxi Hughes won 10 of those rounds, at least.
I know this girl named Maxi. No, Maxi, in my opinion, lost. He was just too much on the back foot. He didn't try to engage in the entire fight.
You didn't like the fact that he was turning him around and he was spinning him and popping his ass every time? You didn't like that? Because he was tagging it. He landed more punches. He threw more punches.
Did he land more? Let's look up the CompuBox. I don't think he landed more. Let's look it up.
Yeah, pull that CompuBox up. I thought he did. I thought he threw more and I thought he landed more.
All right, I'm going to do this fair so you can see my screen. You see it?
Yeah, I can see it.
So you were correct. Maxi landed more, but it was only by 8 punches. However, Kambosos threw way more. He threw 471 to Hughes's 338.
Damn.
George Kambosos outlanded him in power punches. It was jabs that Hughes outlanded Kambosos, and power punches count for more. How many bodies did they land? They were pretty close in body. George Kambosos 14, Hughes 16 in body work. But when it comes to power punches to the body, George outlanded him 14 to 13.
I didn't know that boy was winging punches like that, huh?
My personal opinion is I thought he won. I'm not going to say anybody's wrong for thinking Maxi won the fight. All I can say is what I personally think. I think George won that fight. And I know he won the T.O. fight. And that T.O. win is a good win.
Yeah, he definitely won a TO fight. I'm not gonna. I never take that away from him. But I mean, I would give him credit if he were to beat Hitchens. I think that Hitchens is like, if not the best, one of the best at the division. Um,
Who
remains
do
to
you
see
have
how.
who do you rank above
I,
Hitchens?
I, I think that at that division, I believe Antoine Russell is better than him, and I believe that
We lost you if you're talking. Hey Thomas, if you're talking, we can't hear you.
I don't even see his microphone anymore.
Yeah, it was
then
working.
I think that
There he goes. Hey
He
Thomas, we can
just
hear you
popped back
now.
in like the boogeyman.
yeah, my phone tripping. It's been cutting off for some odd reason. I don't know why it's doing that. I gotta hit that thing back in, but I don't know what you heard. I think that for sure I think that Russell, I believe he's better than Hitchens. I don't believe that Hitchens want to see him. Quayle would be a very much out for him. I think Matias would be a tough matchup for him, and possibly Sandor Martin.
Well, I'm not going to use triangle theories because I'm not going to say because Hitchin beat this guy, he can beat that guy. But however, Paro completely outclassed Matias and Hitchens completely outclassed Paro. So that's all I can say. I don't think Matias is good. I never thought he was good. I picked Paro to beat him. As far as Gary goes, I mean, Gary is a good fighter, but he's already lost, and he also has a questionable win. So, truth be
Oh,
told,
that.
Gary could be sitting on 2 losses to
Oh
Hitchens
yeah.
being undefeated.
You talking about that one winner versus what's his name? The tall dude.
Yeah,
I forget his name. Yeah, that was kind of they stopped that one, right?
yeah.
Yeah, that was bogus. That was
So,
bogus. My man was giving him the business too in that fight.
I'm not saying Antoine's not good, but I would just say, based off of resume, wins, no losses, I would have to put Hitchens above them. And being that Hitchens beat the guy that beat Matias, I would still have to put Hitchens way above Matias because of that.
I ain't mad about it. I think Matias got to definitely get it back in the ring because of that the way that fight did look with Paro. Because didn't nobody have Paro doing him dirty as bad as he did him. I ain't gonna lie. I didn't expect it. But I had to give Paro his dap because that boy did what I didn't think he was going to be able to do.
Well, my thing with Matias is like I feel the same way. Like I don't care about knockouts. Like knockouts don't mean much to me if you ain't knocking nobody out. And I never really saw the skill set with Matias. Yeah, I seen him knock over trash cans, but what happens when you fight another skilled fighter? That's what I care about. And then being that Matias had already lost to a trash can earlier in his career, it's like I don't know if this dude is what he's being made out to be. And then Paro completely made him put his hands in his pocket. Like he didn't want to throw no shots back.
Yeah, like I said, I think he got to get it back with Paro. That's a fight I'm pretty sure he's more apt to pursue, especially if he can't get a title fight.
But yeah, like, and I know you're probably gonna disagree with me, but I feel like Matias is just like Morel. I think they're both hyped up dudes who knocked out a bunch of nobodies, but they're not that good.
I mean, I'm not going to say anything right now about that because I think that for especially for Morel, I think he still has time to grow. I think he definitely doesn't have experience that he needs to translate what he was doing in the amateurs to the pros because he's got to get used to how the pros do things. But he definitely got out savvied, out skilled against Benavidez, but it still was a decent fight.
I mean, it was a decent fight. Who did you pick? I had Benavidez all the way with
Yeah,
no
me too.
question.
I'm a Benavidez girl, but I'll tell you what though, Morrell definitely gains a fan because he is definitely a dog. Like nobody could watch that fight and say that Morrell is not a dog.
Yeah, he got some fight in him for sure, but he got outskilled. He got outclassed in that fight. But I mean, if he is a good fighter, then he will take that experience and he will learn from it. Because the one thing that I kept telling people that are close to his camp was like, "Hey, bro, this is what my man do. You gotta be ready for that. Because if you're not ready for that, he gonna take advantage of you. His pill game is off the charts, man. He uses his your guard against you, and on top of that, man, he punches to wherever openness is or vacancy is. You got to be ready for that, man. Because if you giving something out, he's gonna take it. But the guy, I think they were too cocky and they believed that just by his sheer talent that they were gonna take that fight and just run shot over Benavidez. And you're just not gonna run shot over Benavidez. He's crafty in that ring.
Hey, Jay Will, I agree with you and I disagree with you. I agree with you that they don't have a lot of time to learn, but Andy Cruz is most definitely 34 years old.
Andy Cruz, 34.
Andy Cruz is 43 years old, bro.
He like Morrell, I believe Morrell is the age that he says he is, but ain't no fucking way Andy Cruz is only 30. That dude is the oldest 30-year-old I've ever seen in my life.
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
But that's the fight. That's who Lil Kiki should be fighting. Andy Cruz. That's the fight he always should have been fighting.
That's a fact.
I agree with that. Especially, yeah, I agree with that. I just cannot definitively say anything against that fight. I wanted to see that fight too. Especially with my man Cruz getting that training over there in Philly. I think that would have been a hell of a fight. And it got a backstory like a mug. They should have ran with that. But like I said, I don't know what Key does from this point forward, man. Especially given the fact that he ain't fighting at 35 no more. Who he gonna fight?
I don't know. I would assume that he's going to try to fight a champion at the next weight class up.
Man, that would be a blessing if he was able to get that after what he just pulled off.
I'm about to say, don't he got to start all over again?
I mean, he gave up the belt on the scale. Then he went over there and gave up the bout. Then gave up the freaking event. And then had a little melee on top of that. And the last time they had melees over around that area, boy, somebody went to jail. He forging it.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know if he has to start over or not, because Shakur didn't start over after the Conceição. They stripped him and he still got to move up and fight. So I just keep coming back to Tio. I just think he lost the WBO. Tio's the WBO champion. They're both on top rank. If he ain't gonna fight Albright at 140 for Albright to get his get back, then I think it's gonna be the Tio. Because I don't think Tio's gonna fight Devin, and I don't think Tio's gonna fight Boots. So if it's gonna stay within top rank,
Tio's not gonna fight Keyshawn either, because he was offered the fight with Keyshawn when Boots declined it for the same amount of money, and he declined that. So he has no interest in fighting Keyshawn Davis, because they could have made that fight a while ago on top rank when he asked him not to call his name out after he fought after he fought Pedraza. And then, as you know, Keyshawn called him out anyway, but he's not fighting him either.
well, I don't know then. I don't know who Lil Kiki fights. I have no idea. I mean, the best
Oh
fight
yeah,
would
Jay.
be
Well, you're
Albright.
right. You're right.
Yeah, Jay Will, we
That's
did.
crazy.
And we saw Gary Russell pick up a belt after a loss. So
Yeah. But I mean, the circumstances are a little bit different. I mean, I think the reason why he was given an opportunity because of the little trials that they had with the loss of their dad and the effect it was having on not just him, but all of the brothers. So they probably gave him that touch because, hey, they knew they was going through some things. My man put this self-imposed with what Keyshawn did. Keyshawn had a golden, I keep falling off. I had a golden egg, but he laid an egg instead of having a golden egg, man. And unfortunately, I don't know how that plays out for him, but I would like to see him in there with stiff competition the way he was running that mouth.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what's going on. I'm not giving him any excuse. Oh, yes, I said this actually myself, J. Will Frank Martin, because Frank said he's coming back at 140.
I had to correct my spelling. So guys, I'm about to wrap it up. It's getting super late because
Okay, babe.
I actually thought it was way earlier than what it is. My power went out. So like my cell phone says it's 2 a.m. My computer is saying it's only 12 a.m. So I just realized I'm actually 2 hours ahead of time to where I thought I was. So here's what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna let y'all close it out. Ty Thomas. You can find 2 Cents Boxing. She was on earlier. Jay, you can find her at this link right here. And then Ty, who's on the panel right now, you can find her at this link. Subscribe to both these ladies. Both have very good channels, very good boxing minds. And Ty is Jab Queen Boxing, who's currently on the panel right now. To all the people on the playback, when you get to the end, click these links, subscribe to them, help them grow, get them to beyond where I'm at. So again, that's what I gotta say. Ty, Thomasil, y'all close it out, then we go in the stream.
Okay. Well, this was a very interesting conversation. The situation is still fluid because we don't know what Keyshawn is going to do, if there's going to be any sort of punishment for him. But I appreciate you letting me come up, Tony. This was a really good cook. And you guys check for me when I'm live. Check my community page. I haven't decided on an exact, a constant date and time yet. I'm still figuring it out. I'm still new to this whole space. But I do lives weekly. And I'm always posting content. So definitely check out my page. And until next time, catch me on the panel.
Hey, shout out to Jab Queen. Shout out to 2 Cents. Shout out to my man Tony. Hey, I'm over at Casual's Corner. Me and Aunt Queen.
Hold on one second, Thomas. I'm about to remove myself so you can completely close out the show. So it is now your show. I'm hopping off.
All right, bet. Shout out to my main man Tony's Review. Hey, it was a good cook today. Unfortunately, it was a bad weekend for some folks over in Norfolk. But the good thing is the star may have been born in Cleveland. So shout out to the Mason family and their brothers. Shout out to Keyshawn for winning his match. Shout out for Kelvin for holding himself accountable. And shout out for Bob Aaron for paying my man Edwin De Los Santos for being ready and willing to fight. Hope that as they move forward, they truly understand what took place and how they played a role in it, and that they get themselves together. Like Tony said, subscribe to 2 Cents Boxing, subscribe to Jab Queen Boxing, subscribe to Casual's Corner. You know, we do breakdowns. We take the film, we look at it, and we see what we see in the ring so that we can get a better expectation of what plays out in the ring. From a straight unbiased take, we let the ring tell the true story and not the things that we may think or say. So shout out again to Tony's Reviews, man. Shout out to those in the chat that showed up and communicated. And yeah, it wasn't very much of a delineation between the talent of Keyshawn Davis and Abdullah Mason, but there is a scale, just a little bit of a tick up for Keyshawn Davis, and slight, but it's still there. And he's fought more seasoned opponents. But I am a big proponent of Abdullah Mason. I believe that Abdullah Mason, if given the chance, will show his wares in the ring with Keyshawn. And I think that he just got to work on keeping his head off that line. That's all he got to do, and then, you know, he'll be all right. But other than that, man, you guys have a wonderful, blessed day. Good morning to those that's in the morning time. Good night to those that's on my side. You guys be easy.